I'm Cyndi Lauper, and I'm the co-founder of True Colors, the True Colors Fund, which works nationally to end homelessness among lesbian, gay, bisexual, and transgender youth. And it is really an honor to be here with you guys. It's good to be a voice for the homeless youth who have no voice. So thank you for hearing me. I myself was a homeless youth as a teen. I could have lost my future, but I was lucky. I was one of the lucky ones. I found a youth hostel that helped me and directed me to getting a GED and get back into society, into the system. And I was fortunate. I was just blessed because I found that doorway back in. I don't know what my life would have been like without art or music. I certainly don't know what my life would have been like without Girls Just Want to Have Fun or True Colors. And through my travels, I've met many people who've come up to me and talk about being disenfranchised from their life, because because they are LGBT and who have found solace in these songs. And after listening to these stories, it changed me, and I decided that maybe there's something I can do besides just being a famous person and singing to them. So here I am. Here's what I know. We've done a lot of information because I felt like we shouldn't just have a charity. So we went out to research, because once you have the information, then you can act accordingly and not spin your wheels. You know, don't waste money, don't waste your time. Go find what you have to do and move forward. And we were very fortunate. What we found out is, say in any given year, there's 1.6 million kids, right, on the street that are homeless. And that's in the whole country, right? So up to 40% of these kids are LGBT, or to put it very much like regular people understand, gay or transgender, okay? Now, these kids, if you look at the whole country, only up to 7% of American youth identify as gay or transgender, right? But yet, the homeless population has up to 40%. So you can see the disparity, and you can see there's something bigger at play here. Basically, the kids come out and they get thrown out, you know. And it's just, or they run away because they feel unsafe or unwanted. And I ask you, is that acceptable? I say no. And no young person should be left without a home because of their sexual orientation or their gender identity. The truth is, they didn't choose their identity. You know, it's like you choosing the color of your eyes. You know, you're born that way. And these are kids. You know, keep in mind, these are kids from the age of 12 to 24, and they are trying to survive in the street, which is hard for grown-ups to do. Now, if you're a kid and you're different, it leaves you vulnerable to a lot of things, including trafficking, okay? And they are looking for a way to come back in and be productive citizens. It seems to me that if kids are our future, we should invest in kids, because they're going to be the next doctors, lawyers, the people who are going to cure cancer, the people who are going to fix the earth problems. And if we don't invest in them, we don't invest in ourselves. And that's a problem, because we cut ourselves off at the knees. And to compete in the world, we have to have our youth. And these kids that are in these situations, which we have gone out and researched, we have found that we've also partnered with HUD, because in our research, we found out what government agencies are doing what. And then we've been working on putting people together, and we've worked with HUD on prevention. because the way that we can help, truly help, is through prevention. So that would include, you know, looking at helping the families, fixing the child welfare system, our flawed juvenile justice system, and our schools. Obviously, you guys have been working on this, but this is what we see that needs to happen, because honestly, one of those doorways is going to lead to homelessness or a future. All right, I want to talk about this one. We see that this actually works because we have partnered with HUD on an LGBTQ youth homelessness prevention initiative, and we're seeing what's happening in Cincinnati and Houston. Now, these counties were chosen because one is a small kind of county and one is a larger county. One has, Jennifer, maybe you can help me, one has an infrastructure that has a youth homeless infrastructure, help, and the other one not so much. So this kind of represents the country, the counties across our country. So what we learn from this initiative will enable us to make a blueprint of an initiative that could go across the whole country if it works. And we're seeing that it is working. And we've learned the 5 key things that these kids need by working with the different service providers and traveling to talk to them. Is the one thing is stable housing, education and job training, a sense of social and emotional well-being, and permanent connections that provide stability. The same thing any grown-up would need. And the True Colors Fund is dedicated to finding what works. That's important. We have to build a network of these programs that move us from just a crisis response center to long-term solutions. But the committees and the service providers need funding to put them in place and someone to speak up for them. That would be me, that would be you. So I'm here. I want to give you a few more facts before I turn this over to Jen, Jennifer Ho, who we've been working closely with. In particular, HUD can test programs. They need funding appropriated so they can test programs and systems targeted in communities to figure out what should be then replicated across the country. I said that. And the more we learn about these kids, the more we help them. And again, remember, we're talking about kids from 12 to 24 years old. I want you to always remember they're kids. Government advocacy groups, researchers, private funders, and social providers need to work together to find solutions that give these kids their options back, and we know that because we've seen it work. And we need a comprehensive national system that is inclusive of all young people. LGBT youth are in the homeless population in numbers greater than the other kids. So if you have a bigger population of a group of kids, you have to learn about them to help them. Otherwise, it's a revolving door. You're spinning your wheels and you're spending money for what? Nothing.